Hey guys, this is Magical Lady Duchess, and I wanted to do a quick video on the word crazy and the word weird. Now, why I'm doing this, I'm going to be putting her hair in one solid ponytail because she got a lot of hair, and we are going to the salon, the nail salon today. So, she's going to get a pedicure too for her little feet, but no razors, nothing sharp, just not even scraping them, just wash them down, let them soak them, doing this. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about really quickly on the word crazy. So I don't know what got me into even thinking about this, but I was looking at Dave Chappelle one day, and it popped into my mind today because we were talking about weird, being called weird. He said the worst thing you can do is call somebody crazy. He said it's dismissive, right? And so I thought to myself, what is the worst thing that you can do in as far as calling people crazy? Like, how do you think that makes people feel? I have been called crazy a lot in the because anybody who follows this path and you listen to voices, you're conjuring spirits, you're doing stuff like that, you're going to be considered crazy by the quote unquote mundane or the people that just don't understand your journey or whatever the case may be. So I thought of this and I started researching the worst things to say to people that are crazy. And I came up with some pretty kind of fucked up things. And so I wanted to discuss them with you real quick while I'm getting her right on together. The first one, it says that it's dismissive of their experience. To call people crazy, it's a way to shrug off whatever empathy you should have by blaming them for what they're going through. Do we do that? Do we do that? I think I've done that in the past. Let's just be honest. We do that when we find that because my tension is I get frustrated when I'm not understood. I get frustrated when I'm misunderstood. And what I have to remember, because I forget this, is that people will purposely misunderstand you just so they can talk about you being crazy. Oh. Instead of trying to, she's talking about, instead of trying to understand where you coming from, it's just easy to dismiss that person as not having it all. Oh, girl, you know she crazy. You know she used to do this and she used to do that. Girl, you know how she is. People do that all the time, and I think that's really fucked up, and we got to really stop doing that bullshit. Because even in that crazy, it still makes sense to the person. Now, I ain't claiming that I understand it, and I call people crazy too, and I need to stop that. That's something I need to work on because I'm really not any better because people think I'm crazy. Anybody, like I said, that's in the metaphysical world and they are conjuring spirits and, talking to different deities and goddesses and gods and stuff like that, they could be considered crazy and hearing voices and stuff because I know that the things that I say a lot of times are not necessarily things they're my thoughts. Because everything we think, they're not our thoughts. Some of them are the thoughts of our ancestors and spirit guides that talk to us. And a lot of people that don't understand it say we what? Crazy. Number 2, it's also associated with being anything other than demure and quiet, which we are then equating them to the mentally insane. Again, it's just another way of saying, girl, she crazy. She always talking about some old weird ass shit. When instead of saying it, listening, because they could be really reaching out and stuff like that. And I know that I've done that in the past too. I have to go back to me. I can't just talk about somebody else and not talk about the stuff that I've done too. Even though people call me crazy, I still, I've dismissed people like, oh, they insane. But the shit be making sense to them. And that's all that matters, is that if it makes sense to you. The third thing is we use the phrase to denote that a person is out of our realm of understanding. Like I said before, there are some people, no matter what you do to try to explain yourself to them, they always gonna think like that. They always gonna think something wrong with you. They always gonna think you crazy because your thoughts don't align up with theirs. And again, it's just extremely dismissive. And it just means that that person is really out of your realm of understanding, but that does not mean that that person is crazy. They just think different. All right, you ready? Thank you. Let me see, turn around. Boom, you look a little decent. Go blow your nose, put the chair up. Thank you. So, thank you very much. So that's what I wanted to say. It's like that phrase denotes that a girl or a guy, they're out of our realm of understanding. We can't see why they would do something like that. So they got to be crazy because their experience is not our experience, because we just know it all and we didn't experience it all. And that is not the truth. Misunderstanding is not an excuse for equating someone who is not stable where you're at. Doesn't mean that they per se crazy, but they just think different. And ain't that what all of this is about? To think different? That word crazy. Most people think people that are spiritual that are not in church is crazy. Oh my God, you don't believe in Jesus. You got to be crazy. You got to be something wrong with you. And that's not necessarily true. You just don't believe in what they believe in. That does not dictate a level of insanity just because you don't believe in Jesus and in being a Christian. In my perspective, I think you're crazy for believing in Jesus, that this person, if he existed, that he was not into witchcraft either. This man spit into the ground, the element, the earth, the dirt, and he put it over a blind man's eyes, and a blind man was able to see. Is that not working with natural abilities? Remember Lazarus? They was crying. They was like, Jesus, Lazarus died. Why didn't you come and save him? He's dead. Lazarus was stinking. And they said that Jesus came and he told him to wake up, and he got up. What about the woman with the issue of blood? Talk about manifestation, right? In the Bible. She literally was walking through a crowd. She was pressing through a crowd. And she had been bleeding for a long time. I think it's 13 years. Or I don't know the number. Child, it's been a while since I read that part of the Bible. But she had an issue of blood for many years. And all she did literally was touch the hem of his garment. And she was made whole. You don't think that that's transference of energy? That's transmutating energy? You don't think that? You don't think she was like, I gotta press, I gotta get through this crowd. Oh, if I could just touch the hem of his garment. And the Bible said that when she touched the hem of his garment, he felt that energy leave him. And he said, who touched me? Now, one can think that I'm crazy for looking at it in that perspective, but it's still there. It's a way to make the person calling someone else crazy seem like they're the one who is the victim. Poor them. They have to deal with this crazy person. Well, if they have a strong reaction to something that person is saying, the question should be why. Was it something that you did? Was it something that they did? Is this person acting out abnormally? Or is this person being rational in their own thinking? People like to think and say that Kanye has lost his mind. There was a lot of what Kanye said that I actually agree with. Now, about the part about us choosing slavery, I mean, that's that clone side of him. That's that clone, baby, I'm recording. That's that clone side of him that said that part. But the other part about some other things that he said about, a lot of what he's saying was about being enslaved in the mind, not as opposed to slavery physically. This ain't up for debate. You don't have to believe what I say, but that's my opinion on it. I think calling people crazy gives people an out, especially when they're involved in a situation in some kind of way. I just think that we have to learn how to stop labeling things that we don't understand, because it doesn't mean that person is crazy. That person is just different in their process of thinking. You don't have to agree with everything that a person says, but let's not be mundane and call them crazy. The word crazy. A person that has a big personality doesn't mean that they're crazy. It just means that you don't know how to relate to someone who is more forward thinking than you are. Someone who is more open to people, some people that are more open to life experience. That doesn't make somebody crazy. That actually makes them brave. Because you're talking about somebody that's willing to stand out on their own, regardless of how people feel, regardless of what people think about them, and just sticking to what they know and what works for them, and then being able to share it with you. That's a lot. I'm sure if my family think that I'm crazy as fuck, I got a cousin who makes a joke about me being the way that I am. Even though we come from the same bloodline, but it's just not something that she believes in. So it has to be something wrong with me. Well, when she got sick and stuff went wrong, who do you think that she come to help make her better? Who do you think she come to for consoling and to help her digest everything that's going on with her? This crazy one right here. Most importantly, when we are going through something that is truly difficult, that has you on your last nerve every other minute, that you act out in a crazy way and then go home and cry because you really didn't mean to, the last thing you're going to want to hear is RC, is somebody rolling their eyes at your experience that is very real and very hurtful. That's the most important thing to consider the next time you want to go ahead and dismiss somebody. This is a lesson for me too. A lot of people reach out to me and I think that they are being funny, or I think that they are sending me stuff to be a, what do they call it? A troll. And sometimes I'm realizing that they are not trolls. These are people that are really reaching out that is different. And I have to humble myself a little bit more and say, it's hard for me to read everybody's email, but I need to take it a little bit more serious. Baby, I am talking. I'll make you get out of here. She do this every time. Go get your other shoes too, because your feet are hanging off the back of those. And I don't understand why you just keep putting them on. This child here. Whew. But I'm going to have to work on that. And even if I can't address their situation because I just don't have the understanding to it, I'm not going to dismiss them either, because I don't want anybody dismissing me because I have a difference of opinion. And I do have a difference of opinion on a lot of things. This was a really good topic. I decided to share, to be very transparent, even in my own faults, even in things that I need to be better in. Because I can see things a lot of times, I can see through them. I could be very dismissive and be like, girl, you gonna be all right. Instead of trying to work through their root with them and give them a little bit more insight. In a little bit more of a delicate way. Now, not too delicate, because I'm not going to fucking change. Okay? You got to accept this. But what I will do is I will work on articulating it a little bit better and breaking it down a little bit better. This is why I stopped doing so many readings. Even though I've started back doing my readings, I'm still kind of cutting it down to a minimum where I'm able to give you better quality and quantity of information. So, and giving you time also to digest it. I just wanted to talk on this subject again. I hope that it resonates with people. We have to learn how to stop dismissing people. And if I've ever dismissed anybody or made somebody feel like I really wasn't trying to hear them, it's just that I saw the no. And that's what I said. But I never want to dismiss anybody else going forward. If I can't help you, I will tell you I can't help you. But what I'm trying to do is get a network of other spiritualists or spiritual people who are more designated to help those type of people that I don't necessarily resonate to. Because I don't connect to everybody either. I don't. That's the truth. And so instead of me being dismissive to that, I'm going to try to connect them to someone who can help them. This is a part of a growing process for me. I never have had a business of this type of magnitude. And so I want to use this as a platform to help everybody. I don't want to miss the mark. And I don't want to miss the mark on my ignorance. And the first thing that you always have to do, don't come over here. Look at trying to come over here anyway. The first thing that you always have to do is acknowledge self. So this is me acknowledging self. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope that this is not a typical magical video or spiritual related video, but at the same time it is, because this is all a part of that personal power, that personal energy that's for you to generate, resonate, live in, forgive, manifest intentfully, and make it yours. This is all a part of that process too. So I say to you all, I love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos, for supporting me. This is a process for everybody. If you are looking for readings or for work that goes from love, prosperity, criminal case work, because I do it all, please go to my website. I sell oils, and I am going to start selling crystals and stuff like that as well. I am trying to work with a dealer as we speak. So go to my website at www.magicalladyduchess.com. That's MAGICKAL, ladyduchess.com. Go to my online store. Check out my reviews and my comments. Also, check out my products and services as well. Many blessings to you guys on this journey that we call the path and our life. Modi B.